Hi, my name is Logan Demarest. I'm going to talk about my journey with the smartphone, smartwatches. Uh, my first smartphone was Samsung Omnia. That was a Windows phone. It didn't last very long because of well, the Samsung kind of dropped it almost as fast as it started it. My second phone was an Android phone. It was the HTC One, HTC Incredible S. I was going to go for an iPhone 4, but the HTC Incredible S was like going for $29 on contract, where the iPhone was going for $100 and some dollars. So I went with the Incredible S. My next phone was HTC One M7, followed by an HTC One M9. I didn't go with the M8, but that's not because the M8 was bad. It was because the M9 came up. My contract came up at the same time the M9 came out. With the HTC One M7 and the M9, I also had smartwatches. The M7, I had the Sony Smartwatch 2, which I saw the Pebble smartwatches, and I was really wowed by that. You know, tech person getting a hold of something like that. My first smartwatch was a Sony Smartwatch 2. Yeah, I was going with the Pebble watch, looking at the Pebble watch, but the Sony Smartwatch 2 had a touch screen, so you could scroll up and down through everything. I like that. The only downside was I had to pull my phone out if I wanted to respond to it. There were some apps that attempted to make it so you can respond on your watch. They were okay, but they were kind of glitchy. After the Sony Smartwatch 2, when I got that lasted me through the M7 into the M9. My M9, I got a Moto 360. Now that was a definite step up from the Smartwatch 2. It was a good watch. I loved it. At first, it was like I couldn't get enough of it. After a while, the slow processor was kind of driving me nuts, and plus it started failing me. The battery started caving on me, so the Moto 360 kind of died. I went to Pebble Time, and that was a wonderful watch for the short time I had it. I still have it, but the Pebble Time was wonderful. I could do voice responses, and I could do so much more with the 3 buttons. It was just like my Moto 360. I still would have had to pull up my phone to make conversations. Have conversations or stuff, but it was cheaper. Like the Moto 360 was $350, and the Pebble Time was like, when I bought it was $200, $199. The Pebble Time didn't last long. Once Fitbit bought out Pebble, the usability became, the notifications and everything, it came down to just being like my Sony Smartwatch 2. I can get notifications on it, but I couldn't respond to them. I had to always go back to my phone, and I was okay with that, because the Moto 360 wasn't much better really. Like I said, there were some apps, like you could do some stuff with it, like responding to texts and stuff, but it wasn't as good as the Pebble Time was pretty good. Now, when I switched on Christmas time, I went from Android to Apple iPhone. My Android phone it was still good. It's still a good phone. But I was kind of dissing Apple iPhones, and I thought, you know what? The iPhone came out at this iPhone 7 came out with at Christmas time for zero down with came out with zero down for, you know, on contract. So I got a Apple phone, and my Android watch, like my Pebble watch, which was good for Android or iPhone, didn't really improve any. It was still kind of responding on the phone. When I was then, after a while, I noticed that the Apple Watch had came out with two watches. The new watch, the original Apple Watch, was a while ago. Now the Apple Watch came out with a new watch. It was the Series 1 or the Series 2. You had a choice. You had two options: Series 1 or Series 2. Now the Series 1 was your basic model. It came out with, it was the old Apple Watch with a faster processor, is basically what it was. The Series 2 was a bit more expensive. But the Series 1 and 2 actually come out with two different versions. There's the 38mm and the 42mm in both versions, both Series 1 and Series 2. The 38mm was cheaper than the 42mm. The 42mm, though, which is what I got, I got it for $329, but that was with the open box special. But it was $359 for if I were to buy it brand new unopened box. The series, that was the Series 1 42mm. The $359 for the 329 or something like that for the Series 1 38mm. I wasn't impressed with the 38mm. I didn't want the 38mm because I have a big wrist. I'm not exactly a small man, right? So I went with the 42mm. I went with the Series 1 because Series 2 is good for athletes, but I'm obviously not an athlete. I don't need the GPS for jogging. You know, I don't jog. I didn't need the waterproof, which was nice. 50 feet, 50 yards, meters. It's 50 meters underwater. That's what you could do with the Apple Watch Series 2. You didn't have to worry about it, you know, breaking down on, you know, water problems. But the Series 1 works perfect for me. I thought, well, for $329, you know what, it's good. I'm more into the tech side, which is another thing with Apple. Apple, they're just a product that works. With the Android phone, it was also, you had to know your specs. You had not know your specs. They pushed specs, and I like that. I became used to that. It was like my last phone had an octa-core processor, 2.1 for the first 4, and the other 4 were 1.5, and had 3 gigs of RAM and stuff like that. The Apple phone, you don't really know too much other than it's a quad-core processor. There's 2 gigs of RAM, but that was after a lot of research. They don't mention that for the average person because the average Apple user is just interested in a product that works. They're not really fussy about, you know, all the specs. I kind of like the specs thing, but that's because I was Android, right? So, the Apple Watch, I got the Series 1, and this is it here. I have a little case around it that's to keep protected. Like you spend I spent $329. I don't want to get it all damaged. It's got an aluminum case, and it has the Ion X glass. It doesn't have which is as strong as the Gorilla Glass 3. The sapphire glass is on the Series 2, but I didn't get that. So, anyways, I just wanted to make sure I protect my investment. Plus, it's invisible. It's kind of invisible because it's a clear case, but you can still use it if you touch screen, and it activates right away. They say it lasts 2 days. I've gotten more than 2 days out of it easily, but that's because I turned all the features off. Right? I don't have it raised to look at the notifications or anything. I tap it. and I'm okay with that. I like the little thing, the little thing on the side for scrolling. That comes in. That's really handy. You don't have to use your fingers on the screen all the time. You just you just you can just scroll up and down with your little dial. There's a little button on the side. I don't really use that button much, except that I've had to reset my watch a couple times because it's acted kind of goofy. I'm just wondering if there was an update that came through. I kind of like the little. It's got this little scrolly thing where you can move around and find your apps. I like that. That's kind of fun. It has a speaker, so you can use it as a phone. But the only thing I don't like about that, well, no, I do like that because the speakers are quiet, and you have to go into another room where there's nobody talking or anything. And you know what? I like that because that's a privacy thing. But if you have to use it, I don't use it if I have to. If I do, I use my phone. I usually use my phone for talking. Mostly, I do texting, like like everybody else. It's not, but it has the speaker if you want. When I'm in the house here at home, everything on Wi-Fi. I don't have to. I don't carry my phone around with me. So, but I can still use all the features on that come with my watch. I can do MS. I do all the, not MSN. I was thinking MSN. I use it for Facebook Messenger and iMessage and stuff like that. It's really fun. Anyways, quiet room, not very loud. I like to accessorize, so I found out I like to accessorize, and that's all. Apple is all about accessorizing, so that's good. That's kind of fun to do. Other than that, that's my take on the Apple Watch. Like I said, it's a step up. The Moto 360. If I would have probably gone with what's it called? Zen Watch. I was thinking either go with the Zen Watch with my before I went to the Pebble Time. I was thinking going Zen Watch because it had built-in speaker, but I didn't. So I bought the Pebble Time to save money. Not really much to say after this. Anyways, that's my take. I like it. So far, I like it. It's the functionality of the iPhone is the same as the Android phone. You use a phone as a phone as a phone. It's just a little bit of thinking is a little different in how you do stuff. But it's the smartphones. Everything's, if you got an iPhone, if you had an Android, you have it not iPhone. And the iOS iPhone is just another smartphone. The watches, it's a little more. They put a little more thought into the watch. Apple put so much into it, like it's just amazing how much thought they put into it. Like the Android, they kind of go along. They do it as they go along, type thing. So that's also different. Anyways, that's my take. Talk to you later.